What impact does our focus on standardized testing have on students? And what policies and practices would you support to ensure meaningful learning opportunities and experiences for all students?
So I was just in an an educators in solidarity. They're having an unconference right now where some of us get the benefit of listening to teachers and principals and staff. And one of the points of conversation was exactly about the accountability system. And one of the ideas raised is to move, and a lot of folks have been talking about this for a minute. It's a matter of getting it to gain traction, move towards portfolios, move towards alternative assessment models, and building up and building on those. And the brave and hard thing that a school can do or a district can do is to embrace the alternative assessment model, even as the state is imposing its soul crushing standardized model. That is really, really tough work because the state can be so punitive, right? So we can know that students are growing and we can measure their growth, and the state says, we don't care. So this isn't easy work, and it really takes a lot of courage and kind of stepping into risk to embrace what actually works. But we absolutely need to be moving towards alternative assessments. At the same time, we need assessments. We need to measure student learning. We need to be able to discern and see which students we are serving well and which students we are underserving. So even as we move towards stronger and more dynamic models, those models must never lose the capacity to tell whether we're serving white kids, black kids, brown kids, girls, boys, high income, special need, English language learner, etc. Again, this is tough work because we need robust, complex assessments, and we need to see where each of our students and each of our groups of students are.
For the role of the school board members and trustees are to hold the superintendent accountable to a scorecard. That scorecard often uses the state performance metrics, which rely almost entirely on standardized testing. What metrics besides assessments, standardized or alternative, what metrics would you use to measure student outcomes and hold the superintendent accountable?
Well, you measure student outcomes through an assessment of some sort. You have to have some assessment in place and can be dynamic about what maybe I'm not quite getting the question.
Maybe I'm not doing a great job of asking it. What does that alternative assessment look like? What metrics will you use to hold the superintendent accountable beyond standardized testing?
Yeah, so I will still seek to hold the superintendent accountable to closing achievement gaps according to the metrics that are available to us. So that's not going to go away right away, and it can't go away right away because of the time it takes to put some alternatives into place. But the superintendent needs to be measured according to the satisfaction of the experience of students and families. The superintendent's performance can be measured according to the growth of our school district. That is to say, one of our expectations is that the school district will grow. Not because we need the money that comes with growth, but because a growing school district is a measure of the satisfaction of the families in the school district, right? So we can look at this. So those are some of the things we can look at in terms of the superintendent's performance in following through.